This conference will now be recorded.
Hey there, it's Trisha with Easy E-mini Trade, and I know I haven't done any videos in a while, so I thought I would put a couple out there. And I'm going to show you entries off a 1-minute chart, and this is a setup that I had gone over back in January, and I'm going to incorporate showing you how to use cumulative delta, and that's thanks to Gord S. He reminded me about the cumulative delta, and I honestly completely forgot about it because I'd just been using a regular old delta. So anyway, I'll show you a couple examples of that from yesterday, and I'll be doing a webinar on Wednesday the 30th at 4:30 p.m. If you're interested, go to my site, easyeMiniTrade.com, and then click on the tab for the upcoming webinar, and all the information is there.
This conference will now be recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so you're looking at NQ on a 1-minute chart. This is Ninja. This is actually Ninja 8, and you do have more order flow type tools available in Ninja 8 if you have the lifetime license. So anyway, looking at this on the 1-minute chart, this is NQ yesterday, and I do have the super trend stop on here, as well as the regular 2 stochastics that I like to use for filtering my entries. And then down here is the cumulative delta. If you notice cumulative delta numbers plotting over here, you'll find they'll either be increasing or decreasing. And it's going to be a positive number if it's above 0, and it'll be a negative number if it's below 0. And basically what this is telling us is all the orders that have come in today, we have a positive delta of 1107. So what that's telling us, if you're not familiar with the delta, it's the difference between the orders coming in at the bid and the ask, or buys and sells. Let's just put it simple terms here. So overall, since the market opened last night, we are positive delta by 1,115. So if price, let's say you're looking to take a buy, you'd like to see that number increasing in size. If you're looking to take a short, you're looking for it to decrease in size. Now, it doesn't have to be positive to take a buy or negative to take a short. It's just a matter of what is the direction that number is going. So if I scroll back to yesterday morning, here we go. So here's yesterday morning. And here's the open right here at 9:30. And you could stretch this panel out, make it as large or as small as you want, or stretch it out as needed. What you'll find is that you can plot areas of resistance and support on that. So if you see an area continually holding when you're looking at your delta, realistically, you're going to find that it's also holding on an area of resistance or support on price. So right here off the bat, this may have been a little early for a lot of people to take because at that point we didn't really have a direction on NQ off the open, but the entry comes as it's breaking the super trend stop here, and the stochastic agrees for the entry. And I'll go over more of this in detail during the webinar next week, and I'll give you all the settings and so forth. So basically you put your buy a tick or two above that super trend stop, and it's into the high of the day. And so whenever the instruments that we trade are coming into the high or low of the day, unless we have strong momentum, very often we'll get a reaction there. So at that point, we don't really know what kind of reaction we're going to get there at the high of the day. And obviously, in hindsight, obviously you can see the market, just kept going higher, the whole entire day. So the entry here for the long, here as it's breaking the super trend stop, that's this brown squares here, and then I have my moving average on here. You would look at your indicator here and see if it was valid as a short. So technically it is valid as a short. Whether you'd want to take it as a short or not, that's another story, because obviously we're in a strong uptrend. So here's where the cumulative delta can come in handy. You can see here if I draw a support line in this area here. So this was a resistance area right here, support here. So you can see right in the area where we have price breaking that super trend stop here. If you watch your cumulative delta, you would like this number to be decreasing in size and realistically break this area that I've just marked as support. So if you see that happening, then you may decide to take that as a short. And if you opted to take it, then obviously you got stopped out. It looks like you had plenty of time to get out at break even if it wasn't going anywhere. Excuse me. And same thing here on this buy up here as it's breaking the super trend stop here. You can see that we've created an area of resistance over here on our cumulative delta. And you can see as price is trying to break that super trend stop and coming up to this last area of resistance, which was the high of the day, it got stuck right in that general area that I just marked as resistance. So ideally, you'd like to see some buyers coming in and this cumulative delta being pushed through that area of resistance. So these bars are formed the same way as a candlestick. If it's a red bar, basically it closed lower than it opened. If it's a green bar, it closed higher than it opened. And then the same thing here as it's breaking the super trend stop here, valid for a short. And if you wanted to take this, you could still take it and then just look at the last area of support that held here on this last swing low. And you can see here that it's not breaking resistance. So the chances are good that it is likely going to pull back from there. And realistically, you'd be looking for it to pull back to this area of support here or a fair value area high here. And obviously, anytime you go against a strong trend or a strong momentum, a strong move that has a lot of momentum, you run the risk of being stopped out. Because after a move like this higher in the morning here, leading up to 10:30, you expect price to consolidate and either take another run at moving higher or roll over and retrace. So I'll go over this in a lot more information. And like I said, that's thanks to Gord S for reminding me about the cumulative delta. I always just use the regular delta, and that's fine as well. That will just give you the difference between the orders coming in at the bid and the ask on each bar as it's forming. Okay, so I hope you find that helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. Have a great day, you guys.
This conference will